Hi, guys. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I am um, finishing up. I don't know if you remember, I was finishing up the organizer. Okay. And this came out really good. As you can see, is hard already. So, and then something came to me as I was doing this. I said, really, I don't need to use another resin to do this. I could just put it on the side. So, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. I'm doing the organizer, and I want to go ahead and just, what I'm going to do, I want to see if it will, oh yeah, look at that. It does stay in there. I wonder if I can go ahead, like I said, I never did this before. So it's kind of neat that I'm able to take something and make it. So I want to go ahead and see, I'm putting a whole bunch of things because when you put the resin in, um, what's going to happen is that it's going to stay in the bottom. It won't float. So I said, well, instead of doing that, I just put this and then put clear in the pink so it won't, get mixed up. So I was just wondering, maybe I'll put a little bit of clear and have it all over here. So that looks good. I don't know if you can see it, but it's all the way in the bottom. So instead of having a lot of thing, you want to go ahead for this to stay. You want to make sure you use a clear so you can show the division. You want to be able to show the division of the product. So what I'm going to do this time, instead of doing 100, I'm just going to use a little cup. Let me go ahead and get it. I'll be right back. Oop, hold on. Let you listen to me. I'll be right back. Okay. So instead of using my typical cup, because I don't want to, I only use this for like the big ones. I want to use one that's no number. I already have a good visual. If I put this amount in, I'll put the other amount in. I'm pretty good with it. So, or, you know what? Just for giggles, I'll go ahead and take another one and measure it. That way I don't mix up. So this is the one with no number because I'm just going to use a little bit, enough to, cover that gold. I want the gold to be covered, right? So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'll put my gloves back on. Usually, if you take care of your gloves when you take them off, you can usually use them again and again and again and again, and you don't have nothing to worry about. You know, they can last a lot of time, especially if you take them off and you wipe them with what I say wipes. Then you're good to go. Which reminds me, I gotta get a wipey. Now, any kind of wipes I do, I usually, grab whatever kind of wipe there is, and I'll use a little bit, just a tiny weensy bit. One is enough. Usually do one sleeve. No, one sleeve is enough. So now again, we take part A. Let me move this over here. I'll take part A, and this one is gonna be more like a visual. I go visually. I got that. And I'll go part B. Ooh, right on the dot. Yeah. Okay. Now, usually I'll take part B and put it in part A. Make sure it gets all in there. There's, I have so many fun projects this summer. I have people who've gotten married where I'm going to do something for them. So I'm going to go ahead and post it here. And I'm going to start that as soon as I finish this. I'll go ahead and give a tutorial on this beautiful wedding gift that I'm doing. So you want to stay tuned for that because it's going to be really cool. Okay. So there we have that. I mixed it up again. It's nice and clear. Then when you start mixing it up, you want to go slow. And it's okay. It doesn't say which way to turn. Usually I do both ways. People use these machines that are like so hard to do. There we go. All right. Usually you will know when it's done. Like I always say, wait till it's clear. A lot of people use machines to get away the bubbles and stuff. But if you're just beginning like me and you're doing it for fun, don't spend your money on those big fancy machines because unless you're doing this for a business, you know, I wouldn't waste money like that because everything is very expensive these days. Anyway, Evelyn, she laughing up a storm up there. Anyway, okay. I think that's good enough. You have a little bit of bubbles, but again, when you pour, the bubbles go away too. I noticed that. So let me bring back this right there. And again, I like to pour always in the same area. So let me go ahead. I hope this is enough. Okay, and this time I'm gonna go ahead and change here because I want even. Since this time I'm measuring, I want to make sure that I have enough for all of them. Now I can go ahead and okay. Hope this is enough. Because you gotta have it clear, but I don't want it like taking over the thing. I just want it to make sure it goes all over the place. You know? Usually I go ahead and I just swipe it off. But, I know people do it in such a fancy way. And I'm like, I don't want a fancy way. You know what? And this was a lot. So look at this. This it'll be clearing. The gold is in there. Other people do it different ways, you know. But what's the fun in that? I like to have fun with my projects. You know, I want to have a good time with it. Okay. This one I think I used a lot. I think I'd use less. I can use less and do another project to not waste it. But it's okay because it'll be clear, pink clear with the gold, right? Because I want the gold to come up. Make sure I have it all in there. Remember, this is my first time doing this one. So I want to go ahead and make sure it's nice and even. We'll see how the glitter comes up. Neat. I need to get nothing go to waste. Now I do notice that this is really a lot, right? So what I can do is I didn't want it that thick. I really didn't. So I can go ahead and put some back, like take some out. Look what I'm doing. Because I didn't want it that much. I didn't want it that thick. I know what I want, right? You want to go ahead and have it all even. Like I didn't want it that much. So I have some here. Look, it's mixed with the thing. It's going to look pretty. Okay. I really didn't want it that much. Okay. I mean, it has bling on it, that's for sure. Let me see. I'm looking at it and I'm like looking at it on the size. This is what I'm looking for. You see how that's there? I don't know if you can look at it, but it's in there and I don't want it bringing more than half. So I'm going to guess that I'm going to go ahead and take out some more. Okay. I can go ahead and squeeze it out. Let it get settled in for a minute. Because I want it. I know what I want. You know what I'm saying? And you can measure it to yourself. But I know that I didn't want it taking the bottom of the whole thing. I didn't want to make it that blingy. So I just want it to cover a little bit, not the whole thing. And don't worry about the resin. Usually I find a reuse for it. And I already have molds out because I like to reuse the molds and stuff. So what I'm looking at, to me, this is still a lot. So I measured a little bit too much. And what I want to do, I still want to empty it out. Ah, you see the mistake I did there? Ah, okay. It came out the other way too. So you want to go like this and keep. Okay. See, now I think, yeah, this one has all the, because I keep moving it. You're probably saying, "Man, there has to be a better way than that." There is. You measure it. But I didn't. I just wanted a little bit. I didn't know if it was going to take the whole thing. But one thing, there is no mistakes. Okay? So if you make a mistake, it's not a mistake, it's a learning experience. You take the positive, right? And you make your little crafts. So now, let me see. Now is about right. Okay. Now I'm seeing that is about quarter. It's about that much deep. See, I didn't want it to get filled. Okay. I just want enough to do the thing. Okay. So now that that's there, okay, and I'll make sure you probably use less than 100 when it comes to the thing. So I'm gonna let that get settled. Let me make sure it's all even on one side. Yep, and then I'll do pink. So I know the gold is looking kind of pretty and it is rising for some reason. I thought it would stay down, but it didn't. So I'm kind of, look, I kind of like it. It's like this cup right here. It has things. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to let that go to waste. I'm going to grab one of my little mini molds. This is like a keychain. And what I can do is, let me push this on the side. The extra, I can make a keychain and then I can put a picture on it. So look, folks, you get two instead of one. So I'll go ahead and that's perfect. Look at that. Oh, wow. That's how it's going to look. I wish you were here to see it up close. I'm going to bring it up close so you can see it. Because I like having fun with all of that. Okay. Okay. So if you look real carefully, look. You see how pretty that is? Isn't it cool? And then on top of that, you could put in a picture. That is going to be a wonderful keychain. Let me see where I can put it that it won't. This is kind of, you got to have everything really leveled. You know, it's too much bumps in here. Let me see. No, that's facing that way. You got to have a level ground to put these things in. And I'll figure that out right now where I'm going to put it after I finish here. That's going to be looking cute. See? And I'll put this in the middle. Oh, okay. Up here in the front, it doesn't do that like I'm here. See? I'll put it right there. That seems fair. You don't want to mix anything up. Okay. So that's the end of part 2. And I'll see you. I'm dying to see what this is gonna look like when I'm done. Because it looks like it's settling in well. And I'm hoping that the gold stays like that and it doesn't go all the way in the bottom. If it does, so well. I have tricks for that. I'm ready for everything. Okay. So I'm gonna take off my gloves. These got messy, so I'm not gonna use that. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna see you next time, okay?